If excuses are keeping you away from what you want to achieve in life, it's not your fault. That's just how your brain is trained to do. And the good news about it is you can actually change it. In this video, I'm just gonna show you how I trained my brain to stop making excuses and how I managed to keep consistent with my goals. Even when things feel uncertain or when they just feel hard, even when it feels like there is not even chance of achieving it. But if there is still 1% of chance of achieving that goal, I just stick to it. When people start their self-improvement journey, they just go to YouTube and start searching for videos to actually improve their lives. And then they start consuming all this content about how to get better, how to get in shape, how to be successful in life, the perfect routine, what books do I need to read, and all of that. But the truth is, if you're not really taking action towards those things, none of that will matter. But you need to look at the root of the problem, which is why there are so many people that they just watch so many self-improvement videos, which could be get in shape or start a business, and they are still stuck. Because you watch all these videos, you just fill your brain with all these good ideas on how to start a business, how to get in shape, how to be better, but you always end up in the same cycle, which is you just get information, you just get more information, and then you just feel overwhelmed, you don't make any progress. It just feels like we're just working ourselves, but you're not really moving the needle. And to be totally honest with you, in life today is not really helping you just to start taking action towards your goals. Let me just explain what I mean by that. We just have something in our brain that's called dopamine. It's just a chemical that's just released in our body when you just experience some pleasure. It's all part of our brain reward system. It's just that thing that makes us feel good when you do something enjoyable. And the closest thing that you can actually do just to get that hit of dopamine is just to use our phones. And that's where the problem is, because when you're just trying to achieve something meaningful in life, for example, just to be better, or just like get in shape, or starting a business, basically change your whole life, you're just stepping out of your comfort zone, which means that things will feel hard and things will feel uncomfortable, and it just requires a lot of brain effort to take action towards those things. And your brain is just wired just to save energy, and then it will do everything that it can just to bring you back to that comfort zone that you had before, so you don't have to use your brain for anything, because that's how your brain is trained to do, to save energy. And that's where that dopamine that I just mentioned is just hits easier and faster, which is just your phone, because it's so much easier to get that hit of dopamine when you just grab your phone, rather than just going to the gym, have a cold shower, and just have that hit of dopamine as well. But the easiest one is just grab your phone. It's just right there. But that's not the real problem. So what's the problem? That is people is still not taking action towards their goals. It always starts just by knowing where you're getting those hits of dopamine from, because there's two types of dopamine: the real dopamine and then the artificial dopamine. Let me just explain you just what those two types of dopamines are. Artificial dopamine is that the one that you just get from social media by just scrolling your phone, porn, anything that just gives you that quick hit of dopamine, which just gives you that big spike in dopamine and just drops fast. And then those ones is just that's called pump and dump. It goes high very quickly, but also drops very quickly as well. The worst part of the day for getting those dopamines, and that's where people make so much mistakes, is right in the morning. If you just grab your phone right in the morning, the first thing you just start scrolling on social media, you're just giving your brain the first thing in the morning that hit of cheap dopamine. That's just gonna set the tone for the whole day, because it just makes it hard to feel motivated to do anything else from your day. It's just you don't have, it feels like you just don't have energy to go to work, you just don't have energy to go for workout, you just don't even have energy to stay focused, because you just had that big spike of dopamine. You're just scrolling your phone, but then it drops so much that you can't really focus on what you have to do next. And then the real dopamine, the one that is just sustainable, the one that is just is gonna keep you motivated for the long term, the one that you get from the real dopamine, that's the one that you get from doing exercises, just cold exposure, going for a walk, is just finishing a task that you're supposed to do, finishing that project, just actually doing something that when you feel proud of yourself, that you actually did something that is just beneficial to you, that just brings you joy of achieving that result. That type of dopamine, it doesn't go like those big spikes, it's just like, it just go up and down like that. It just goes like that, where we just keep the energy throughout the day. And here was a lot of people go wrong about when they are just trying to achieve something in life, because they always think like, oh, I just need to add something more in my life. I'm just not doing anything. I need to do more. I just have to have more routines. I just need to have more good habits. I just need to have like a good workout to go to the gym. When you're just like studying about like being the best version of yourself, it's not about adding more things. It's about like removing the things that actually hold you back. You don't need to go like those crazy things about like those dopamine detox or 30-day challenge without phone or anything, because you're just gonna go like from 100 to 0, and that's basically not gonna be sustainable, and it is just gonna be so hard for you just to keep going like that. What I recommend you to do is just like start small. For example, if you're just like addicted to porn, social media, all those apps that is just like endless scrolling, just start removing the one that is just like, for example, if you have got like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all those apps, just start by removing one at a time. Just delete TikTok, for example, and then also remove TikTok. Just wait for like 1 or 2 weeks and see how you go. And then if you feel like, oh, that's okay, that's fine, and then just like remove the next one. Just remove Instagram, remove Facebook, and just start eliminating all those things that gives you that hit of artificial dopamine. That's actually what's holding you back from where you want to be. But if you come to me and say like, oh, but I like those apps, I don't want to delete them, you're just basically telling yourself that you're just choosing to be comfort and not progress. So, and then that's not going to help you just to become the person that you really want to be. And then if you want like real results in life, you just gotta start by being disciplined in life. And then it always starts by cutting out those distractions that actually is stealing your focus. What I do in my life, I just cut out of that access to have those artificial dopamine during my day, especially like in the morning. I didn't have Instagram for about 4 months. I just like activated it again because it's all part of my business, start sharing things on my Instagram. But to be very honest with you, I didn't want to do that. I just did because where my biggest audience is. To be honest, I don't really like to be on Instagram anymore. And what I do in my mornings just to keep myself away from my phone, I just wake up, drink some water, I just have a shot of like glutamine and creatine, eat something, and then I just go to the gym. That's when I just grab my phone and just to put a podcast on. And by the way, I'm not like even listening to music anymore. And that's just like a great tip if you want to start changing your life, because I want to start my business, be successful, and then the only thing that I'm listening to right now is just podcasts related to business. The more I feel like I want to be part of that life. That's just like a quick tip if you're trying to change your life, if you're trying to start a business or get in shape. If you're just like, start listening only those things in your life, you're just going to start changing, because you're just going to be like listening to that every single day, all day long. It's good. It's been helping me. And then I just go to the gym in the morning. That just gives me a hit of good dopamine, the real dopamine that I just mentioned. And then after the gym, I just have like a really cold shower. It doesn't matter how cold it is, how hot it is. I just have a cold shower, and that just gives me so much energy for me just to keep working during my day. Because when I get home, I just put my phone away. I sit in front of the computer here. I don't even remember that I have fun for like so many hours, because I'm just like so focused on what I'm doing that my brain doesn't really ask for that hit of dopamine anymore. The one that is just like I get from scrolling, I get from social media, those artificial ones that I just mentioned. It's just because I've trained my brain to be like that. It doesn't happen overnight. If you're just like so addicted to those artificial dopamine, it's gonna feel hard in the beginning, but it's all part of the process, because it's not easy. I've been that for so many years now. For me, it feels easy right now because I've been doing for that for so long. For me, it's normal. But I'm gonna be completely honest with you, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be hard, but it's all part of the process. If you want to become a better person, you just gotta be choosing to be uncomfortable, and then that's where the growth happens. Like I said, start small, take the distractions one by one in your life, and you're gonna see the big difference that is just gonna make in your life. Just choose comfort over comfort. You're gonna see that your life is gonna change. And then if you're looking for someone want just to build a high level of discipline in life, I've got some good news for you. I'm just offering like a free one-to-one call where I can just go through your lifestyle and I can set up like a proper workout plan for you. You're just gonna build like a really solid routine that actually fits in your schedule. And the most important thing, you're just gonna develop that skill within you, which is just like being very disciplined. If you enjoyed the video, just leave a like here, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.